So this is Vermont Kane with Warframe Breakdown, where we break down Warframe so you can be broken in Warframe. So today what we're going to go over is Railjack. So you probably looked in your arsenal and you are inside of your orbiter, and you probably looked and you probably noticed that you had a quest called the Rising Tide quest. And you'll notice that as you progress through that quest, you'll have gotten a mystery thing, and it required you to go to the dojo back and forth a whole bunch in order to get this giant spaceship. So we've already done that. If you have not picked up that quest, I recommend you do. In order to pick up that quest, there are a couple things you have to do. You have to have joined a clan. Your clan has to have a dry dock, which is the room that you see that's directly behind my Warframe there. And you had to have built and completed the Cephalon Psi blueprint. Once you complete that, Cephalon Psi, he'll walk you through that quest, and then you will have an amazing ship. So it does require, if you're brand new to Warframe, you haven't done this before, it does require a clan key. You do have to join a clan. Definitely recommend you join a clan as of 2021. They're going to be making some changes shortly, so that's why I wanted to do this video now. That way we could do a before and after for a future video. But just so that you guys are aware, these are the current things that we have for 2021 in February for Railjack. So we're inside of our clan dojo, and this is what it looks like. And so we're going to go into the Bat Cave. So after you get your Railjack, there's going to be a couple things you're going to notice. It will populate here inside the dry dock. After you get it, you will notice that it will appear also additionally in your orbiter at the very top. And we're going to go over a couple of things, some tips, tricks, if you're host, if you're client, things that you might want to know about before you're going in. Now, the one important thing is about this game mode is if you don't already have one, get one of these. Make a friend. I can't tell you how many times people play a co-op game called Warframe, and they say, I have every skill inside the game. I'm a master of everything, except for social. Warframe is a social game. Make a friend, join a clan, get involved with people. Absolutely amazing. So once you get your Railjack, you're going to be able to go inside this menu, and this menu has everything that you need to do with your Railjack. And what is really cool about this, and that I think is really unique, is that your Railjack is kind of like your Warframe. When you get the item, you can level it up and you can do a whole bunch of things with it. And all of these levelings actually help out your squad all together in general. So as you can see right off the get-go, we're on the far left of this menu, and we have 3 items that we can pick from. My stuff I've maxed out quite a bit. So we have a Zekti Shield Array, which there are 3 flavors. You have Zekti, Lavon, and, well, 4 flavors technically, Sigma, but nobody ever uses Sigma. It's like the very first item that you try at a restaurant. It's good, but there are definitely better things on the menu. So, and then we got Vidar right there. So Zekti, Lavon, Sigma, and Vidar. Then we have 3 flavors of engines. We have Zekti. I can go ahead and claim that. I think I picked that one different because of the different passives. As you can see, I got a different passive there versus there. So I'm going to keep the one that I currently have installed because it's definitely faster. So 3 flavors, Zekti, Vidar, and Lavon. I have a preference for the Zekti, or for the Vidar, because it's faster. Before, when this was for your first release, I had a preference for Zekti because it gave all of my equipment damage boosts. As you can see, Tenno on board gained a 20% damage increase, which definitely helped out our entire squad. Just having that innately. But as of lately, as I've gotten into armor reduction and higher rate of speed, it's definitely been a higher preference for my Railjack. Additionally, there are reactors. There are 3 flavors, and I'm so glad that they changed this. I went ahead and I built a couple of these. We'll go ahead and claim those now. I made these decisions a long time ago, but I'm probably not ever going to use them. I'm going to end up sticking with my Vidar. And the reason I'm going to pick my Vidar is because it has my highest avionics capacity, and it has an increase of 100 flux capacity. But if you really tend to use a lot of energy, like how people on my Railjack tend to, maybe you might prefer something like Zekti, where it has 267. It used to be like that. Before, it was like if you didn't have a Vidar, like, your Railjack sucked. But I'm so glad that they made these changes where Zekti now has a decent capacity at 80 plus avionics. Before, it was like 20. It was ridiculously low. And then they added it where it was 100. And then, of course, we get twice as long as the immunity for major breaches. And we're going to go a little bit further into detail once we do that. So those are my recommendations, is going to be sticking with Vidar and then a Zekti Shield Array. I've like the Zekti shield arrays better than the Vidars, so that's where my preferences lied. And then we're going to go over to armaments. You got weapon locations. Now, these are what actually people will use. So anybody can use the Tycho Seeker from anywhere. So that could be from the turret to the pilot station to everything. Anybody can use this as long as they're on a pilot or a turret seat. Then you have your side turrets, which are these ones. You get two of them. So when you place this, it doesn't place one, it places two, which is a very important distinction because that might determine how you want to do things. As you notice, I have two different weapons. I don't have the same weapons twice, which means that there's a purpose behind it. And in the mission that you're going to see that purpose on why we actually have two different weapons. So I decided to throw the Vidar Cryophon shotguns, they're shotguns to be certain, on the side. I really wish they would actually change this so that you could change the color with your railjack. The Zekti is blue. Like, for whatever reason, the Cryophons, they do not change the colors. And they're still bugged out where this little patch right here, it's supposed to change with the railjack, but it doesn't. Um, but we'll see if they actually make those changes. So yeah, I wish they would actually make it so that this changed with your colors as well. And then of course you have your Zekti Apox. These ones I've noticed they do change and they're not glitched out, but those other two items, they're just really glitched out. And I hope that DE fixes that in the next update. Um, and these ones are fully automatic. The reason why I put these ones on are going to be regen fields. And again, I'm going to reference that again on why this is important to have as a setup, and then these are important. Essentially, these will one-shot enemy fighters, but this will take down the regen field so that they actually can get one shot. Cool. So then we got our avionics, and this is basically a modding system. And unlike the modding system that you have on Warframes, is with traditional Warframes you would throw on an Orkan Catalyst. Well, you don't throw on an Orkan Catalyst to double your mod capacity. Instead, the drain on all the avionics remains the same. What you do is you upgrade your grid. So as you can see, this again, this is all maxed out because I've taken the time and effort to max out every slot. But these would start out at 0. And when you throw basically direct, which is endo, the endo will upgrade the actual spot, and so when you do throw an avionic, it gets an additional 3 slots onto it. And there's some of the avionics where you might want to tailor, where you might not necessarily want to throw it on, and sometimes it might feel like it gets wasted if you fully max it out. But definitely, if you have the 3 slots on, it definitely helps it out because then any mod that you throw on there automatically gets an additional 3 ranks. So definitely you're going to want to upgrade these spots. You upgrade them one at a time. So this one has to get ranked to rank 3, that one gets ranked to rank 3, and that would essentially be how you would throw your Parse Orkan Catalyst on. So we're going to go ahead and stop upgrading. And in addition to upgrading the avionic spots themselves, aka Orkan Catalyst, you can also upgrade the individual avionics. So if we hit Y for avionics, or you can just click there, as you can see, these all have different, well, these are all valued at different, and they all have different drains. You can see this one has a drain of 9, drain of 9, drain of 6, drain of 11. But if we were to go, see this one has a drain of 6, despite this being the same bulkhead. So what we can do is you can literally hit A to upgrade, and you spend your direct as endo, and it upgrades it essentially. So there we go. And that's essentially what you need to know at avionics. So my preference, and that I've seen to have the most success, is basically upgrading your bulkhead, a hyperstrike, and the hull weave. Your bulkhead is going to be your health, then your hyperstrike is going to be the damage output of your turrets, and then your hull weave is going to be your armor. I don't really think the shield is necessary to upgrade, again, because just like a Warframe, which I've said this multiple times, just like a Warframe, shields have a tendency to get bypassed unless you're Hildren. My Railjack is not Hildren, and my Railjack also does not have a synergy like Hildren, and we haven't seen an item come out to create a synergy like Hildren on a Railjack. So we're going to be underneath the same premise that when we get procced with a corrosive proc, there's not corrosive procs in Railjack, but there are like corrosive procs, and there are like toxin procs, and there are like procs like them inside a Railjack. When you get hit with them, it's going to bypass your shields and hit your hull anyway, or your shields are going to get depleted so fast, it doesn't even matter. So I recommend we're going to have our forward artillery. We're going to have our polar coil, which I think heated capacity, that increases how many shots you can actually pump out of your guns, which I think is important. Revel reducer, I've come to like this one. I had different avionics there, but I've come to like this one just because when you actually use your Revelite With your Omni tool, it reduces how much you use, and then Artillery Cheap Shot, and then your Hyperflux. A Void Hole, which will show this, Particle Ram, Blackout Pulse, and then we'll go over these ones while we're inside mission. But this is essentially the modding system that you have. Then the last thing that you have is your payload. This is very important to go ahead and cap out. Essentially, Rebel Light is going to be to heal the ship. Flux Energy is going to be basically using your abilities, so we want to always make sure that we start off with max energy. And then we're going to have our munitions, which are basically rockets. That's going to be the Tycho Seeker that you saw that I had equipped. I really like the Tycho Seeker because it seeks out the enemy targets. So definitely something to look forward to. And then, of course, these are the resources that I have within my own personal inventory. These are the intrinsics. These are the things that you start off with inside the game. These are essentially additional abilities that you can obtain. And we'll go over these one by one when we're going in mission. And then, of course, the hyper customization of Warframe. I can customize everything I want about my railjack all the way down to the nitty gritty details and energy colors, etc. And I don't have to just do the outside. I can also we can also do the interior as well. So let's see. There we go. On the interior, bada bing, bada boom. So now I am social person, so I have a full squad, as you can see, and we're about ready to get started here. And so they're waiting on me. I'm going to go ahead and join them. Okay, guys, I'm ready to join you. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Yep, I hope you guys are all on the bridge. Bada bing, bada boom.
Ready to depart on your order.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm so happy. Oh, nice. Okay. So this is the Railjack navigation, and there are currently 3 Proximas. We're going to get several more inside of the Corpus Imperium. So currently we got Earth, Saturn, and Vale, with Earth being the starting stage, Saturn being the second stage, and Vale Proxima being the third stage. So Earth Proxima, everybody starts at. Once you upgrade an intrinsic to rank 3, you'll be able to go to the Saturn Proxima, and then once you upgrade an intrinsic to rank 7, you'll be able to access the Vale Proxima. Now, if you join somebody that already has those intrinsics, they can automatically take you to these higher tiers. These higher tier ones will get you more intrinsics gains faster. So it's definitely joining somebody who has a railjack that's significantly upgraded is going to help you out in the long run. So the other thing with Vale Proxima, which is what everybody tries to get to, is there are anomalies. Let's see, we do not have an anomaly. Let me reset the navigation there. Gonna go back to the navigation. Are you guys seeing a glitch there? Because I'm not seeing an anomaly. Can you guys go check navigation, see if you guys got an anomaly there? It's just weird that it's removed from my navigation. It's gonna be a flashing red one in Vale Proxima. Which which on Ruse War? Okay, then that's the one that we're gonna run. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can still click on it. I just need to know which one it was on because it completely deleted it from my navigation. So it does. Yeah, I'm hoping that we actually get several POIs when we go in there, not just a Murex. So we're gonna go ahead and start this up. Points of interest. So don't skip this. Nobody skip. Put down your remotes. I'm gonna kill you. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I'm gonna jettison you out to the airlock. That's how I'm gonna kill you. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. That is so gorgeous. So beautiful. Well, yeah, that's because GL likes to skip it on you guys. That's why you guys haven't seen this. That's my railjack. That's correct. No. Everybody's is the same size. Well, mine might look beefier because that's the skin I chose. I chose the Cabello skin, which I totally love. Yeah, so I'm going to give a quick tour while we're going over things. So this is the railjack. We're inside the loading screen now. So this is going to be the pilot seat. This is going to be your navigation, and then this is going to be your Super Death Star laser right here. I can shoot this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, the Bubonico, to be certain, was based off of this. It doesn't have an ult fire, but what it does is it deals damage and strips sentient adaptation, so that's why I brought it for this. So we're actually going to be sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So we need to activate our... We're going to be sneaky, sneaky. We're going to go ahead and activate our Void Cloak. I want to bypass this. Don't agitate them, guys. We're going to go to that Murex first. Did you find the hole? Okay, so I went ahead and Surf, he's my man inside this, guys, and he's actually repairing my stuff. No, don't kill him. Don't agitate him. What we're going to do is we're trying to find that Murex. You guys see that Murex? Because I don't see it. That's not a Murex. That's a hanger. Unless that's it in the background. I don't see it in the background. It's the POI. You don't see it? I wonder if I glitched this out for this mission. Yeah, we don't have a Murex. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to finish this one and do another mission. So we're going to do two. In that case, everybody to battle stations. It's an anomaly. Everybody to battle stations. That, my friend, is called a black hole. And what I did is I decided to put it up. Now, there are some retards out there that will try to convince you that the tether is amazing. Don't listen to them. It's a black hole, man. Like, you cannot beat everything going to a singularity. Like, that is amazing. So the yellow waypoint is a POI, to be certain. We're just ignoring it because I'd rather take out the fighters. Unless somebody wants to pilot for me while I take out that POI. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Here, Ganja, you can hop on the pilot seat. I went ahead and threw the particle ram up. You're in a turret, that's fine. You can stay there. There are borders on, so if somebody wouldn't mind taking those guys out. Ooh. Bye, guys. Somebody forgot the glasses at home. Hopefully we get another... The particle ram is up as... Well, let me see. That doesn't look like the particle ram is up. It's going to be... So you want to look for the blue outlines on the side. Do you have a blue outline on your screen? Sometimes I don't think it necessarily shows it on my side, which I think is the UI glitch, but... Yeah, it's going to be on the edge of your screen if you don't see it. Oh my goodness, did Midas die? My goodness, Midas, why didn't you say anything? It's going to be one of the avionics down on the side. I want to say, I throw it on X. So right bumper X. Oh, geez. That's not the one I wanted. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah, then you took it off. You want to reactivate it. Yeah, Yeah, don't spam it. It's just a single.
Bingo. Crew, trash that radiator.
Yeah, just once. Assuming that nobody on the turret seat is trying to activate it as well. Yeah. Hey, does somebody want to take out my radiators on the side of this thing? Take out the radiators on the Rockermon? Or are you guys busy with fighters?
Second radiator.
No, you just stay inside the railjack. Just the railjack comes close and takes out the radiators. If not, I can do it. I'll go to my arc wing.
There it is. Blast that radiator.
It's okay. I found the radiator. We're good.
Prototype craft. One of a kind. It would be terrible if someone stole it.
Yeah, it would be terrible if somebody stole that. You guys just handle the fighters. I'll just go ahead and... Oh, somebody already got the first radiator. So that's good. That makes it easier. I'm going to go ahead and take this cruiser.
Will make for interesting reading. Do what you want with that ship. I have what I need.
Perfect. Doesn't look like there's anybody on this.
We have captured the enemy cruise ship. Hull rupture.
So one thing I like about my my intrinsics is one of the intrinsics I have is the boost, and that does actually transfer over to the Greener gunship. I wish intrinsics and avionics transferred like that as well. The only avionics that I'm aware of that actually do transfer over and the intrinsic is literally just the boost from the piloting, as well as the health avionics that you have from your railjack. And that's only because they cruise ships now. Like, I wish they didn't make that change, because cruise ships used before had 40,000 armor, which I wish they had their own base stat. I can't because I'm not on the ship, but if you have the tactical 4, you should be able to pull out your Omni tool and use it. I'm talking to Midas. Midas sent me a message. He was asking about getting a recall. You could. You'll most likely die to it, though, if you have an unranked Arcwing. Yeah, those cruise ships have a tendency of one-shot KOing Arcwings. So the one that you... Like, the one that you have to have is the Amesha Arcwing, because that's the only one that will actually let you survive. I'm trying to take out these shields. Also, it has a shield up, so you won't be able to enter it. I'm going to take out the... There we go. I got that whole breach.
Not to nag, but in short order, everything that is inside this ship will be outside this ship.
You're not on my ship, are you?
Mission continues.
Yeah, no. Yeah, leave my ship alone. Unless you want to compile it. Then you can compile this. Here, you can pilot this one. Yeah, well, you pilot. This is your ship now. Okay. Bye, Felicia. Right bumper B twice.
Hull ruptures sealed.
Here we go.
Enemy squadrons have maintained pressure.
This guy keeps on taking out our stuff.
Shelve the bloodlust. Orders repelled. Back to work.
You can go shoot it while you're inside the thing.
Fires extinguished. Scrubbing atmosphere.
There should be...
Fighters.
Here, can you get me close to that yellow one? There, Surf. The one that's lit up. Yeah, the yellow one. We want the yellow one. No. It's like, it's actually yellow in color.
Integrity alert.
It was right in front of you.
Catastrophic decompression
It was...
imminent. Fire crew, attention needed.
It's the one inside the regen field. You're going down. You're below it now. The yellow one right there. That one. That's perfect. You're pretty... Okay, I shot a rocket at it. We got its shields down. Perfect. I already got it. Just point me at it. The one of... doesn't matter. You're doing great. Hey, Midas, people are aboard the ship. You want to go take them out? Yep, I got it. We're good on this one. Midas looks like he needs help. I already got it. Don't worry about the catastrophic failure. Here, I'm going to give Midas a buddy. There we go. We activated abilities. Got another cruise ship. That's the idea. That's why we're running this mission. Yep. These guys are also like level 100, so they're really great for affinity, just because affinity scales with enemy level. And also the range in this is, you don't actually have an affinity range, so everybody's always within 3 rating of each other when you have a full squad. So really this is the ultimate, well, I should say this is the most definite affinity farm. I wouldn't say it's the ultimate, because technically when you do have the affinity range reduced, technically that one could be better. Yeah, it was mostly because you can get the enemy level to be like level like 500 or something like that. Oh shoot, I'm totally the wrong Archwing for this. Okay, hey Midas, can you come pick me up off the ground? I'm in the little cocoon right there. I did not realize I had my Itzel Archwing out. That is how fast you can get KO'd. Here, I got the Revelite if you want to repair that. Midas. Revelite's done. Repair. Four seconds. Midas. Midas. Repair. Oh, what happened, bro? Yeah, I fixed the Revelite. Kill me, Smalls. He's forcing this out, isn't he? Revelite is important, guys. Revelite is important. No, I said I had Revelite. This will give us a chance to get our Archwings. 48 fighters. So, what were you doing? Were you on the pilots? Yeah. So those, the Cryophons, what they are on the Railjack is they have a punch through innately, because essentially the Cryophons are the Archoplasmor of the Railjack. And the reason why I use Archoplasmor for a lot of descriptions is because it's a really good description for weapons that have a large AoE with a punch through. So we'll go ahead, we'll try this again, and hopefully we got a Murex then, because that was weird that we had a glitched out Murex. They dropped the weapon that I was using. Yeah, I know you guys don't pay attention to details in this game. That's why I'm that's why I'm the captain. Okay, we'll try this. We'll try this again. Gallon's Grave is where we got the Mirror X. So we're gonna try Gallon's Grave. Oh, I forgot to switch out my Arcwing again. It's okay, that's fine. I just will avoid going out with my Arcwing no matter what. Don't do what? The wings were from the Valentine's event.
They have launched fires.
Let's try this again, guys.
Rainier are expressing interest in unusual energy readings nearby. Investigate and deny.
Let's go to that anomaly now that we have it. That's what we're gonna go find out. This is the one I'm looking at. Let me cloak us. You should remember what it's from. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, that's the anomaly. That's the rib cage. So this is where you. So back in the day when Railjack was very first released, this is where you would pick up the new war cinematic from. I don't know why they haven't given us the rest of the quest. Like they said that they were supposed to release the quest, but 2020 happened, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna delay it," and then they never brought it back. They never introduced it. They showed us a whole bunch of stuff. Well, then they gave us, to be certain, they gave us Heart of Deimos. They didn't give us New War like they said that they were going to give us, which I thought was weird.
True. Something on sensors. A structure.
I'm going to park this all nice and hidden like.
Lord. Sweet.
Yeah, this is exactly how we did it. Where do you think where do you think I got Scarlet from? I'm gonna just snug us all down in here. Okay, everybody out through the airlock. Yeah, everybody out through the airlock.
Dropping Tenno out of airlock.
Yep, and you're gonna want to go down, so towards the back of the railjack. Go down and then around. I park it on the back of it. That way, like, we can all get out and enjoy it. Just go around to the other side. Go down. Go down. Go down, Ganja. Yep, go down. And then come around. And then come up. And then you can X here. Here we go. Boom. Yes, it was. Yes, it is. I know they're gonna be super hard. Oh, I think you guys will be fine. Just as long as we can remember to always create Revelite, I think we'll be fine. Oh, there's also a secret tunnel. You guys want to see the secret tunnel? I think it's here. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's not. I feel like it was one of these. It's underneath one of these staircases here. There is a secret tunnel. Secret tunnel right here. Come look at this, guys. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. More like a secret cavern. Yeah, it's one of the... If you can only crack that open with your 10-0, which I thought was a really cool thing that they added in. That originally was how you would get the 10 breast ephemera, was you'd crack those open and it would be in one of those crates. But it had like a legendary drop, and people didn't like the RNG of it. Oh, I know, right? See, that's what I'm hoping that they do, is that you can actually board more enemy ships and you can take control of them, and that your avionics and your mods will transfer over, and that will add more variety rather than just the railjack, and it would add value to the enemy fighters as long as your stuff actually amplified their ship, because then it would be like you're empowering the Grineer ship, but it would also make it more, it would add additional value to capturing enemy ships. Like, imagine being able to hop on like a Grineer fighter that we're just shooting down and being able to amplify it. Yeah, that's a giant sun. Don't touch it. Like, imagine flying into the sun and imagine all the negative things that would happen if you yourself flew into a sun. Yeah, that's intentional. So this enemy right here, that's the one that drops the Shidu, the giant arm cannon that I'm using. This guy right here that I'm marking, that I'm shooting at. We killed those? If you did Scarlet Sphere with us, you would have gotten... Oh, so that's the blueprint, but the parts drop from the symbol list. Yeah, so if you did the new War cinematic, you got the blueprint at the end. Yeah, let's see. We have 2 more sentients we gotta kill left. 150 direct. You touched the sun. What did I say about touching the sun? Here we go. Yeah, so in order to have unlocked the new war quest, you had to crack this sucker open with a paracesis. And again, they got rid of it. Well, you can still use the paracesis on it, but it cracks open. But it doesn't give you anything anymore, which is kind of a little disappointing. Do we got guys up there? It is. It's like too quiet. Yeah, if you destroy the platforms, then it's something for you to stand on. Well, in this game, destroying is building. Kind of like how if you destroy the Tenno, you build up your Mirex. Let's see if we can find just one more guy hanging around somewhere. That is. That's why I went backwards, because we still gotta kill... We still gotta kill 2 sentients. story of my life. That's exactly what this turned into. Hello? Is there a guy? Nope. Just a figment of my imagination. Yep. Go into your town and crack it open, man. I feel like maybe we should all extract and try to go back in, and maybe that might get us a... Oh, actually, see if you guys can exit and re-enter. Yeah, try to see if you can re-enter, because if you can't re-enter, then I wonder if it moved on us. Yeah, because if you can't come in, then I think it moved on us mid-mission, which would kind of suck. Because it's supposed to not do that anymore, but if it's doing it... Okay. Then let's see if we can all just... Yeah, I'm gonna do a reset on it, see if we can't get to go in.
Tenno has exited the railjack.
Just trying to see if that gets it to respawn more enemies. If it doesn't, then we might be SOL. Somebody else can go ahead and get started on the enemy fighters, though, if somebody wants to go ahead and get on pilot. Well, we all four don't need to be doing it. We are. We're literally right now looking for a sentient to respawn. You can hop on the pilot if you want, and go take out enemy fighters outside. No, hop on the pilot. Go find some fighters to take out. We still gotta take down 76 fighters. We're just trying to get them to respawn in. I just think that the anomaly just got really bugged. Right bumper B, hit B twice as fast as you can. So it's like, hold right bumper and then press B twice. That was weird. That was a weird camera shake. Oh, that was because you activated the black hole out there. Yeah, you're making all of our... you're making our camera shake from inside the Mirex. And if you find an opening, we can actually see it too. So we can actually see your battles from inside the Mirex, which is pretty dope. Hey, there's an enemy above me.
Ship killer platform sighted. Priority target. I need Tenno on the inside yesterday.
Oh, I would stay below the platform on that missile platform because that thing will wreck the railjack. Where'd it go? I killed a Vomvolus, but it didn't count as an enemy. Yeah, I think this Murex just got bugged on us, guys. Yeah, we're just gonna have to extract without it and just not get our sentient anomaly. Oh, hey, did it finally populate some? That is one hardcore bug. Battlist.
Sentient forces decimated. Objective complete.
Yeah, there we go. We finally got it. Now we can all return to the Railjack.
Normalizing interior pressure. Ruptures sealed.
That's awesome. You should flip the Railjack right side up. Yeah, because you make when the Railjack goes upside down, if you're like wearing any kind of sign down or a cape, it flips it upside down and it blocks the entire view.
On scope.
It's hilarious. It's too much work.
Rupture. Explosive decompression imminent.
Okay, then you're on Revelite then, Midas. You're in charge of keeping Revelite up.
Rupture sealed. Good job.
A cruise ship? Don't, because I'm already here. Because I can repair the ship from anywhere. Here we go.
Sealant applied. Hull integrity stabilized.
You should put me at the next cruise ship. That's a great target.
Unwelcome
Don't
visitors.
move. Stop moving. Stop moving. Stop moving.
Repelled. The enemy have called in a cruise ship.
Stop moving.
Ship evolving.
Just stop.
Cruise ship has gone bye-bye. Repair order. Hull rupture.
What happened to not move? You're gonna have to shoot that orb now. Got it. Oh my goodness. You are the worst at not moving. Like, if I was in church and I was to tell you to hold still and be reverent, you could not do it for the life of you.
Alert. Enemy cruise ship has translated into the sector.
There we go. Yeah, so that's the Death Star laser.
Stabilizing.
Here, let's fire again.
Sealed.
Back up, 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 back up. Gucci.
Ram sleds inbound. Prepare to repel orders.
It's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
Interior pressure. Ruptures sealed. Scratch one cruise ship.
I'm gonna go ahead and build some more stuff.
We have company. Premier cruise ship on scope.
Yeah, give me a hot second to call you a twin. That way you can walk around with 3. I could have sworn I called a twin earlier, but I guess not.
Priority repair order. Hull ruptures. Decompression risk. Ram sled launch. Optimists inbound. Breach risk contained. Rupture sealed. We have been boarded. This is
Let's do Shatter Shield.
It looks like I can't call a celestial twin. That means that we do have one up. So that means you're gonna have to call your own celestial twin.
Crew, fire on board. Location marked. Ship secure. Everyone in one piece.
Destroyed it like what? I don't think you can. Can you?
Extinguished. Oxygen levels normalizing.
Yeah, no. So it's gonna go down to 0, but it won't actually let you kill it, which is kind of a little ridiculous. Yeah, try backing up. Yeah, I don't know why they added that mechanic, like where you have to use the artillery cannon. Like I felt like it really should have been an option more so, that you really should have been able to destroy it from the outside. Although you did a good job at wrecking the inside, so like made a nice little ramp for me. Yeah, it does. So when you take out all 3 of the engines, it kills half the guys that are inside the cruise ship. In addition to that, it changes the interior of the cruise ship. Well, I'm already on the inside here wrecking the thing, so you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, like that's just what happens like when you're inside it. So it does change, and so like the attention to detail on that level of gameplay is just very unique, in my opinion. I'll meet you guys back at the railjack. Yeah, we still not taking out that
Powering weapons. Cruise ship down. That clears up some space.
Hey, you want to get below that turret. That turret, we're on the top side of that turret. We want to get below that turret. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna aim at you if you don't go down. Yeah, it's charging up to fire. You better go down faster, bro. Yeah, the thing is the thing has got you bore sighted. Yeah, no, it's called a ship killer platform, not a ship killer a ship tickler or anything like that. It does say killer. It does not matter what you throw on your railjack, like it will wreck it. Here we go. You guys stay on the outside because nope, because you guys are gonna take it down the radiators. Me and Midas are on the inside.
Exterior weak point exposed. Open fire.
The red waypoint, and you're gonna want to move fast.
One radiator down. Make it 2. Key components marked. Destroy them.
Okay, get the other radiator.
Radiator exposed. Open fire.
Boom.
Radiators destroyed. Away crew. Go for the core.
Bye.
Away crew. Wrecking time. Destroy marked components. Ship killer platform neutralized. A grateful sector thanks you.
I know, Cephalon size is amazing.
Ship secured. De-escalating.
The little turrets healing the ship.
Fire crew. Stand down.
That was the anomaly that we were just at. We want to go towards those fighters that are on the right, or those cruise ships in front of us. You can. I wouldn't. I would go just for the cruise ship. Because it's probably just like a weapon or something. Did you just wreck this thing while I was in it? I was. You didn't kill me, it's fine. It's no big deal. I'm gonna chase down this fighter and try to kill it. I know I'm not gonna be able to, because they put a damage buff like it was nobody's business. Oh, let me use my trash first ability. Wow, I just threw it to the opposite side. And it did nothing to it.
Enemy pilots are panicking. Keep it up.
So this is why nobody goes out in space and tries to take down fighters, because it's not a meta.
Crasher. We're near cruise ship. Cruise ship reactor has detonated. Pretty.
Here we go. Yep, that's a waste of time. Hey, you should point me at one of those cruise ships. Well, there's technically two more around.
Apart. Immediate repairs.
Go get Revelite. Because I'm fixing it already. The catastrophic failure is a giant hole in the side of our ship. Revelite is what allows me to repair it. And it's that cruise ship that right there that's wrecking us, that's proccing it, so... That's why I'm saying, that's why... Well, I did say let's take it out. I already did. I already got it. I'm beating you to it. I beat you to it. Yeah, because I'm not. I'm repairing it from across the map, because I'm cool like that. I'll beat you to that other one. I just beat you to the other one. I'm telling you, it's dope AF. Did you beat me to one? Wow, it took you long enough. I had to be doing something completely different and had to have all my controls being in use for you to beat me to it. Let's see. So here, let's switch out, and I'll go find them because I'm faster than you are. There we are. I hope you guys are on turrets. Because we're going to come in hard on these guys. They're probably going to all die relatively quickly. Here we go. Ready for the crash course, guys. I'm telling you, crash coursing is the meta in this game. Hey, you want to make us flux surf while you're down there? Do not hold X. Do not hold X. Never hold X. Don't hold X. When you think about holding X, make the right decision and don't. I need flux. Yep. Yeah, there should be 440. You should be able to make a whole bunch of it. Let me know when all 4 battle forges are in use. Are they all in use? Okay, what about the 4th? Okay, again.
Fighters neutralized. Sentient structure secured. Mission complete.
I don't think anybody hardly ever uses them. I'm going to beat you to the other one there, Midas. Beat you to it.
Sealant applied. Hull integrity stabilized.
I said I beat you to the repair. It's so awesome to be able to teleport to people. I thought you were heading for it, to be honest. So we could just jump to another Murex. The Murex moved to Arnown Clyde, and we could just be doing this all day. But I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the dry dock. Oh, actually, before I do, let's go ahead and actually refine, like I said, not to. You should have more than enough intrinsics by the time we get back to get somewhere decently close to it. So if you do not have a railjack, the way you upgrade it is when we get back to the dry dock, because I'm the host. Okay, still you're gonna want to do this because I'm the host and you're the client. Technically, even if you have your own railjack, if the host who owns the railjack, when they go back to the dry dock, they do not have to leave the dry dock in order to essentially use their intrinsics because they're automatically claimed and given to them. But if you're the client side, then you have to go back to your orbiter and then go back to the dry dock because going back to the orbiter gives you all of your loot, including your intrinsics. Yep. So, but if you're in your orbiter, and then you don't really need to come back to the dry dock in order to upgrade your intrinsics. You just go to pause profile, and bada bing, bada boom, it's there underneath intrinsics, and then you can upgrade from your orbiter. Yep. And I think the reason why they put it underneath the profile is because every single time you upgrade an intrinsic, it gives you affinity towards your MR. Yeah, up to 60,000 points worth of affinity. So that's the way you do that.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have to leave the dojo except for me. Like, I can just immediately go to my railjack right here while I'm inside the dojo and completely upgrade it, but I didn't get any intrinsics because I'm capped out on all my intrinsics. Let's scrap wreckage. Well, essentially, I've already shown everything that's necessary for the railjack, so I think we're pretty Gucci. So, yeah, the only thing that we didn't get, which is kind of sort of disappointing, but it's completely random. It's a crazy rare percent drop that it even spawns in, which is a particular POI, which is the infested POI, and it's basically an Oricon derelict that you can find floating out inside of Veil Proxima. I've been to it several times, but I've just noticed that they've increased the rarity. So, like, you'll go into the POI and it's an Oricon derelict. It's one of those like giant towers. The giant towers that I saw that were there, they didn't have anything on the side. And usually when you get close to them anyways, Cephalon side, he'll go ahead and point them out. And they were just way too small to actually have the actual POI on it. And the POI is on the broken off branch of it. And if you go in and you actually activate the console on it, then it gives you an additional mission reward upon completion. So it's a nice, cool little thing. That also happens to be the way you get the spectral vandal. Is all the parts drop from there, from that POI, and then of course we did the sentience and the symbolus. Yeah, the infested one dropped the spectral vandal parts. So you have to do a lot of railjack in order to get that part. Before, like, the spectral vandal was given as an event reward along with the Glaxion vandal. So that was the way you got those before. But then they threw the spectral vandal on railjack, and then of course you have your Shidu, which drops from the sentience, and then there are assassination missions that you can do, which drop your Quailar and Pennant. I forgot to scrap my wreckage. So let's see. I'm gonna hold on. Yeah, which is really nice. The command one is No, the command one hasn't been released yet. That's actually coming in the next update, and that's something that they've been hyping up inside of the dev streams. So that's what we're waiting on. And so the way command is going to work, as they've portrayed it during the dev streams, again, like, anything is up to DEs changing, but essentially all the Kuva liches I've grinded out and converted, and I've done um, I've done quite a bit of Kuva liches for command. Um, like, I'm approaching my 100th Kuva lich, and I'm dead serious. I'm approaching my 100th Kuva lich. So yeah, so like, I think I'm sitting probably closer to 70 right now, but my goal was to have 100. A whole bunch of different Kuva liches because I wanted to see the different cosmetics that they were throwing for the shoulder plates and stuff. I know I'm bragging about how much time I've wasted of my life trying to get a Kuva lich for a piece of content that we don't yet have. I know, a brilliant move on my part. So my current converted Kuva lich count is, what is that, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I have 28 converted Kuva liches that I will be able to use for command when it comes out. And the way that will work is I have my converted Kuva lich, and he will be purchasable from Ticker. And then when I purchase him from Ticker, then I can go back to my railjack and I can customize them there, and then they can replace essentially you guys, from my understanding. Now, again, we don't have command, so I don't know if it will be in addition to you guys being on the railjack, or if I have a full squad that, for an example, say I had 3 guys, I don't know whether or not it will only allow me to use like 2 of them if I have 2 people in my party or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if it takes a spot. Again, there's a lot of questions that we have about it that we haven't seen.
and we're not entirely sure. The only thing that we know that they're advertising right now is that that you'll actually be able to purchase them from Ticker, and you'll be able to customize their colors inside of the Railjack menus. But we do know that they said they're taking a chainsaw to Railjack, so we can anticipate a ton of changes. I do know they are changing avionics. They want avionics to be more geared towards the player rather than like upgrading the Railjack. And I don't necessarily know how I feel about that, because I would rather, from what I understand, one of the big changes that they're moving, this is as of DevStream 152, is that they are taking the avionics menu that we currently have on the Railjack, and they're going to be making that more applicable to the player rather than the actual Railjack. And that kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. In my personal opinion. Because honestly, I think one of the biggest problems that they're having is when it comes to Railjack, and there's not a whole lot of variety of missions. So like you don't really have a stealth Railjack. You don't really have a survival Railjack. You don't really have the variety that you have with the Warframes. Like you have like survival Warframes, and then you have spy Warframes, and then you have kind of quick mob killing Warframes. Essentially, what you have is you have a skirmish Railjack, and the skirmish Railjack is meant for killing the mob of fighters that you come across. What I would honestly like to see inside a Railjack is the ability to have more than just an Archwing as a fighter, like a Railjack that can deploy. Like what would be really cool, in my opinion, and I know they're going to release the ability to actually bring Necromax into the mission, but like having your Railjack like deploy it, launch it at a POI, and then it be there like when you get there, which I think, they're probably going to leave it as it is, which is probably significantly easier. So the player base is going to widely accept the way it is currently now, which is just the launcher segment attached to your character. You just kind of drop it in, which I guess is kind of sort of the same thing. It's just I don't know. It's they could do some different things with it. But I would really like to see something other than an Archwing that you can bring, like a mini fighter. Because essentially what it feels like when you're flying the Railjack is it's a battleship. They did say that they were going to actually reduce the size of the Railjack. I don't think they should. I like the size. I like the size of the Railjack how it is currently. Yeah, so it's like, honestly, what I'd like to see them do is essentially make a fighter launch segment on the Railjack. Like the actual internal of the Railjack, I don't think the size needs to be decreased or increased. I think the way it feels right now is actually great. So the one thing I want to see them do is like have something other than just an Archwing, because right now it feels like you don't have a lot of choice. And I think the reason why they say like it really feels like the entire game mode feels based off of the host and the Railjack that they have depends on the success of the mission, and that's true. That's true, essentially. And the reason why that's true is because they completely nerfed Archwing. When Railjack was very first released, they added a 95% damage reduction onto the Archwings. And even inside this own dev stream, I was chasing down a guy using a Lockspur built with corrosive, which should have turned into chem damage for the fighter. And I'm chasing this fighter down, and like it's not dying. Like I sat there for a good portion of the stream just chasing down this one fighter, and I'm locked on. I'm dealing a small amount of damage to him, and there's such a huge damage reduction on the Archwing. It's completely negligible to actually be using the Archwing generically. You can go out in the Amesha. Like there was somebody that was on Facebook. There's like the meta right now for Railjack is like you got to go out and you got to be in your Archwing and you got to mob kill those fighters. And I'm like, bruh. Yeah, it was like, bruh, like, do you even Warframe? It's like you can't do that. So because those are the things that you really can't do inside of your Railjack, you can't deploy a fighter and the fighter be decent. You can't really kill the enemy fighters like you would normally be able to. They changed the arc guns so that they had the heavy stats, but it doesn't matter when you have such a high damage reduction on the arc wings when they go out into the mission. So you don't really have that choice. If you are doing railjack mission, whatever the host brings, that's what it has to be. In order to change that, they have to make the arc wing viable for the other players. It's either the arc wing, it's like both of them have to be good. So like DE has this weird sense, and honestly, what it is, it's called survivor's bias. What DE has, and I've seen them have this tendency to do, is they'll see a lot of players using something. For an example, we can go Brahma, we can go Ash, we can go Itzel Arcwing, we can say, um, like you can go down the list of all the different good things in the game, and it'll get really, really popular. And they immediately see that, and they go, "Wow, this is not a very good look," because and they're not entirely wrong when they say this, but they're saying the majority of the players actually use this item. So because the majority of the players use this item, that means we did something wrong. That means if you're not using this item, you're doing something wrong in the game. And it's not that they're doing something wrong in the game, it's just that that's actually the mark of success of the company, is when a lot of players use an item. That means that that was done very, very well. What you need to do is, instead of focusing on trying to nerf that weapon down so it's on par with everything else, which is the easy way to do, but it upsets people every single time you do that. What you need to do is you look at other weapons and you see how you can bring them up to that level so that it's as popular as that. And they've done a couple of things which I've agreed with. Like, one of the things that DE has come out and said that they wanted to do was get primaries on par with melee. And of course, you have Scott. He Devstream 152. He gets out there, and the immediate thing he says is, we need to bring melee down a little bit and then bring primary up. And every single time we said this, again, Ash, Itzel, Brahma, I can go on. every single time he opens his mouth, those things get nerfed, and they get nerfed into the ground. And he's like, "I know you agree with me. Nobody should have to get this item in the game." And it's like, no. They're not getting this item because you have to get this item. They're getting this item because it adds a unique feature to the game that the other items in per se don't. Like, for an example, in Railjack, the Amesha brings an invincibility to the Arcwing that you can't get with it. So Amesha is the only one that you can use in that particular game mode. But if they hadn't nerfed Itzel, you would have actually seen players using Itzel or Amesha, because Itzel can get to a cruise ship way faster than Amesha. The Itzel could literally blink so fast, you could get to the cruise ship and then just enter it immediately. Like, there was no like pause or waiting, which ideally the faster you get there, then the better it's going to be necessarily, unless like your stuff just is trash, in which case then you're going to be using what's going to be best offered to you. So like I was rocking Itzel, and the reason why I wanted to rock Itzel was because I was hoping I was going to get that speed to get to that cruise ship. But then when they added it to everything and they nerfed it, like, and the reason why I felt like they nerfed it was because it wasn't that they added the first ability to all arc wings. Technically, it did make the other arc wings have more value behind them, but the reason why it was a nerf to Itzel was because they took the first ability away and they gave it Valkyr's whip. Yeah, the very first ability was Valkyr's whip. So I showed in this video right now where I was chasing down a fighter, and I couldn't kill it, so I used a whip on it. I just launched it in the opposite direction. Didn't kill it. Didn't do anything. It just literally was like a bungee cord. It was like I helped it escape, because now I got to turn around and chase it down again. So exactly. So honestly, if you really want to improve this game mode, where DE needs to focus on is making the enemy equipment that you can take over valuable. So like, let's take for an example, yeah, like the cruise ships, and adding fighters in and making the fighters available. So like let's see, I do know, I wonder if, do I still have this? Let's see, because I want to take, well, you can already hack them. Like, I want to be able to get in a fighter. I want to be able to use a Grineer fighter over an Arcwing. I want to have that choice. Yes, and because like let's take a page out of Star Wars Battlefront. Um, like there's Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005, old-fashioned Star Wars Battlefront 2. Here we are. I have it right here. Looks like I don't have it downloaded. Yeah. Oh, I do have it right there. Well, essentially, so Star Wars Battlefront 2 had a really cool feature where you had your capital ships, and this is where I feel like Railjack felt like it for a moment, and I really thought they had something going because this is where I thought they were going with it. You have the space battle, you have an enemy ship, you can go on the enemy ship, you can infiltrate it, and you can take it out. So, but what I really liked was the feature that they added, and it felt like the Grenier cruise ships were that capital ship that kind of housed these small fighters. It doesn't really house the small fighters, it just throws out giant missile pods that end up dropping enemies, and it wasn't exactly what I anticipated. But for an example, imagine you were able to take over a Star Destroyer, and then you were able to use a Star Destroyer against the enemies. Exactly, it would be dope, and that's what were anticipating with Railjack. You could take over the cruise ship, and you could use the cruise ship to take out their own fighters, and the cruise ship has to be good. But then they started nerfing the cruise ships because they started noticing that as soon as they nerfed the Archwing, gave it a 95% damage buff, people weren't using their Railjack still. What they were doing, which is what I did, I would take over a Grenier cruise ship, and then I would use the Grenier cruise ship to take out the fighters because the Grenier cruise ship with an unranked, unmodded, no avionics, blank slate Railjack, the cruise ship was better at killing the enemies than my Railjack was. So what they did is they then made the health exactly identical. Like the Grenier cruise ship used to have 40,000 health. 40,000 health, which made the Grenier cruise ship that like amazing comparatively. Yeah, yeah. So like, if you didn't throw like any whole, yeah. So it's like, yeah, like it forced players to either like you had to buy avionics or you had to do something in order to preset yourself going in. So now like if you take over like if you have an unranked railjack and you're trying to grind your way out to getting everything, it's just that really grinding your way through railjack really wasn't an option to brand new players. So people aren't wanting to do that. In addition to that, this is a co-op game mode, so you have to be running it with people in order to be successful, regardless of your railjack. As you can see, even in this own video, like we did not do so well the very first mission we did because we had a miscommunication between me and Midas. We lost the very first mission just because we didn't have a repair going on. So just because we didn't have somebody building Revelite. And I suppose like Command might fix a whole bunch of that with the AI being able to build that. Um, but honest, just hope that the Kuva Lich doesn't go into the back and immediately start um, doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, so honestly, that's what I really badly want to see. Is I want to see the option of having that small fighter as an option over the Archwing. Whether they make it a modular item or not, but having the option to choose a fighter. Maybe you infiltrate a Grenier cruise ship, and then you can choose to hop in their fighter. You just see it's chilling in the back, and you just can hop in it and just use that instead. And like, it doesn't have to do a crazy amount of damage, but it just has to be able to do what the Archwing can't, which is at least kill their own fighters. like, like the Grenier cruise ship has to be able to kill their fighters, and it can't be like this long extended duration that it currently is. Like you have to be able to point and shoot at it and kill it within a few seconds by launching off a few shots at it. You have to have that feel. Otherwise, you're not going to see players use it. So, and if a player doesn't want to, if the player can't use the railjack, if the player can't use the Archwing, if the player can't use the Grenier cruise ship to kill enemies, and then the player cannot use the Grenier fighters to kill enemies, then what is the whole point of Railjack? If they can't kill anything, nobody's going to want to play it. And that's what you need for a really good space combat, is you need the variety to choose any of the items and be able to have a successful mission. If you can't choose even one of the items, or if, but really in all reality, you should be able to choose any of the items and get a successful mission out of it. So, and I think that's really where DE is struggling. But if you take a page out of the old 2005, one of the most popular Star Wars games, like what everybody was banking on when they released the brand new Star Wars Battlefront back in 2015, where they had the high intensity graphics, the game that people were expecting was the Star Wars Battlefront 2 that we got. all the way back in 2005 because that was great. That was done well because you could go to the enemy ship, you could take over their fighter, and it was just as effective as the own ships that you had. If you don't have that exchange, I can exchange this out and it be an equal exchange, then that's when it's going to fall apart, and that's when people are going to say, I don't really like this because like I can go get it, but it's just not as good as what I already got, or it's just not as good as this. It needs to be different, but it needs to be different in a different way that it actually adds value, because otherwise there would be no significance to actually going and taking over. So that's my 2 cents on DE. And if they want to actually truly fix Railjack and they actually really truly want to make it a space battle, like they got a good thing going here, and I want them to fix it, and I want them to do a really good job at it, and I'm really excited for Corpus Imperium, but I really don't want them necessarily taking things away. So like they did toy around with the idea of taking the avionics and being then those avionics being able to transfer with the character wherever they went. That's a really good idea. I want them to hold on to that, but it needs to be whatever the base stats of the item that the player is taking over. So it shouldn't be 250% of my railjack. Like it should be that 250% of the Grenier cruise ship base value of 40,000 health. And then when that gets transferred over, then people will see a difference, and then you'll want to take a cruise ship, not because it's better than your railjack, but because it's different from your railjack. And so, and it should be this. It's going to be the same thing for the fighters. When you take over a fighter and you get that 250% health, it's just going to be different from the fighters. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward. So that's Railjack for you guys. That's what you can expect. It's a really, really fun game mode. I really recommend you all try it out. As you can see, we tried a couple of missions. We got a success out of it, and we got a Murex, which is really nice. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.